Hi Forester fans, I'm Paityn Tabor. I'm a junior here at the college, and I do the Coaches Show with Coach Kat, where we sit down each week and talk about last week's game and the upcoming one. So this week we talked about last week's game against U Chicago that secured the conference championship, and the upcoming playoff game against St. John's. Here it is. Hi Coach, congrats on winning conference and on being named Midwest Conference Coach of the Year. That's so exciting.
Oh, thanks. It was a great game on Saturday when we were super happy to win. And I always tell everybody anytime an accolade goes to a coach, it's because the players and assistant coaches don't get recognized. So it's a honor from the coaches to pick me, but I really think that's our whole coaching staff getting that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so before we get into the playoff game this weekend, let's recap the game over U Chicago. So as expected, when you're playing for a conference championship, the game was pretty tight all the way up until the fourth quarter. And so what sparked that 21-point outburst by your guys that ultimately secured the game?
Yeah, I mean, I think we felt like we had the game relatively in control most of the game. Our third and fourth offensive drive started on the 1 yard line, so we didn't have a lot of breathing room. They did a great job of, pinning us deep and keeping us backed up. So we weren't really able to generate points off those, but we were able to get some first downs and do some things there and kind of protect ourselves. I just think in the fourth quarter we were able to hit a couple big plays. We hit we get the tackle on the punt where we make a special teams play that way, and then we're able to throw a fade to AJ. Armani Brown hits a big run in the fourth quarter that was kind of a result of 25 runs throughout the course of the game, just kind of piling up, and then all of a sudden he got a bounce and nobody was there to tackle him, and he ran through 2 arm tackles. So I thought that was really good. And then Trey's touchdown to kind of close it off was just a great heady decision by him. Sticking with the play because we'd run that same play several times and he'd pulled the ball and not had success. So the fact that he was still willing to do it, and that led to a nearly 70-yard touchdown for him to close out the scoring.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so going into this game, technically you guys only had to win a quarter to go to the playoffs. So was the team more focused on simply getting that bid or winning the conference championship outright? And how did that kind of play into your decision making throughout the game?
Yeah, so we wanted to win the game. That was our goal in the whole. We kind of kept talking all week about not wanting to share the conference championship and let it come down to quarters led and things of that nature. I really only made one decision the entire game that had to do with the quarters led scenario. At the end of the first quarter, we had the lead 7-0. We were backed up to punt, and we decided to take a penalty on a delay of game to run out the rest of the clock. Now, it was actually a twofold decision. One, it guaranteed us winning the first quarter, but two, it allowed us to go to the other end of the field and kick with the wind instead of against it. So it was kind of a twofold decision. But yeah, we didn't make any decisions in the game other than that to worry about quarters led. We just, they actually won the coin toss, so they made that decision, then we just played football from there.
Yeah. Okay, so now I want to pivot and discuss the game this weekend against St. John's. So this team has been to the NCAA playoffs 31 times in their program's history, so clearly they have experience in this type of situation, and this is our first playoff appearance since 2002. So what does it mean for you and your guys to get a bid into the playoffs?
Yeah, I think for the players and the program as a whole, it's really exciting of all the work that was put forward. I mean, we go back to January and starting at 4:30 in the morning for the off season and doing all those things because of COVID protocols and being away from each other in the fall of 2020. I think this is really just a reward for our players and our school for the commitment made to make sure we had football in the spring. There were so many other schools that didn't play, and we made the decision to do that. And so hopefully that's a reward for them. But then for our players, just the work that they put in, their steadfastness and commitment to what we do here, I think it's not guaranteed to win you every game, but I think the culture breeds a desire to want to win every game. And so I think that's really great. And then for me, I've been to the playoffs the last 5 years as the site reps and as an NCAA chairperson, and it's a heck of a lot more fun to go there as a coach right now than and bring 75 of my closest friends, so to speak, than it is to go by myself. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah. So St. John's is also 10-0, and throughout the year they've consistently gotten off to a fast start. They've outscored their opponents 117-20 in the first quarter. So what makes their offense go, and what do we need to do in order to contain them?
Yeah, they do a lot of great things on offense. Well, the biggest thing that's really cool about them, from a football coach's perspective, I'm watching and not prepping for them, is that they'll be in a whole bunch of different formations. They use the same personnel to do a lot of different things, but they really run their committed plays. Like they know what they're doing. They know who they are personnel-wise, and they've got really good players that they want to get the ball to. They are. I've said this a couple times. They're truly one of the blue blood programs in college football, and I'm not just talking Division III. If you look at Division I, II, and III, they're one of the winningest programs in NCAA football history. They've had great consistency throughout the years. They had, a coach that was there for nearly 40 years, in Coach Gallardi, and then one of his former players takes over for the last 20 years, and so they've really had a lot of success, just being who they are and really being true to themselves. And so for me, that's kind of the appreciation that I really have for what they do. They're talented, they're explosive, they do different things, and they go into the game with great confidence. And I think that's one of the things that, as we talked to our team, is that they're going to come to the game really confident because they've been here before. There's nothing new. It's at their home stadium. They're sleeping in their own bed. For us, we need to have that same confidence because we've gone on the road and won big games like at Monmouth and some other games. And so we just need to treat it just like that and kind of go and have a great experience.
Yeah. So now to talk about their defense. So their defense on average only gives up 250 yards per game. So what does our offense need to do in order to put points on the board?
Yeah, we just need to be consistent. I mean, I hate to say that, but it's like we've said the same thing all year, and I think we're going on 11 weeks and we saying the same thing. We can't be behind the sticks. We got to be productive on first down, convert third downs, and we've really been good about that. Now they're a team that's going to present some different challenges, and we're going to have to do that. But I mean, I'm still going to hand the ball off to Damon and Armani. I'm still going to pass the ball to AJ and Cooper and everybody else. And so, for us, it's just really doing what we do, but with a very high level of execution. I think that this is a week where if we make a mistake in the blocking scheme or something like that, it's going to be exposed much greater than maybe it was against some of our other opponents. So we just got to be locked in and ready to compete every single snap.
Mm-hmm. So, Coach, the atmosphere at Farwell Field was electric last weekend, but you're going on the road to play at a stadium that's been listed by Sports Illustrated as one of the top 10 dream destinations in all of college football. So, what things have you and your staff worked on this week to help prepare your guys for this road environment?
Nothing. I never want my guys to worry about what's outside the 53 and a third and 120-yard football field. I mean, it doesn't matter how many fans are there. It doesn't matter how many people in their stands, or how loud they are even. Like, it's about us. Like, when we get onto the field, it's not about any of them. None of those fans can come and make a play. None of those fans are going to go out there and tackle one of our running backs. So to me, it's not worrying about any of those things and just worrying about what we have to do on the field, which is what's going to inevitably decide the game.
Well, that's actually all I have for you today, Coach. So best of luck against St. John's, and I look forward to talking with you next week after another Forcer victory.
Great. Thanks. Can't wait for it.
Go Forcers!